to JKMoto Podcast, a motorcycle podcast for the everyday rider, covering current bike and racing news and specializing in track days, club racing, and
great entertainment.
Great entertainment. We truly do it all. This week we are brought to you by JKMoto Entertainment, your one-stop shop for all your track day club racing questions and answers. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I think you have to like on Facebook. But anyway, handle is JKMoto Entertainment. Much like that back there.
Yeah.
I love that sign, man.
It is pretty cool. I don't have a brand, but I'd love to get a sign on principle. Just put it in my office.
Sign.
Careful, I might. Just says generic sign goes here.
That'd be good.
On a video call, you see that in the back, you're like, you did it.
Dude, we got spoiled. We went from summer break no racing for 5 weeks to 2 weeks in a row. However, I don't know what we're supposed to do. I'm looking at your sprint stuff here.
Mm-hmm. That red, yellow.
Just kind of the red.
Yeah, but it's Marc Marquez. That's where it goes.
Yeah, but man, I was thinking about.
I'm more focused on the red after the yellow.
Oh,
so Marini up in P4. I know what Honda was doing this weekend, but they got to do more of that. Maybe
it was interesting.
Maybe they figured it out.
Honda figured something out, maybe. Probably not.
They're up in 6th.
KTM kind of figured a couple things out.
They did. Not Bashanini, though.
Yeah, no. Aprilia was in existence.
I liked watching Bezz with Marc on race day. That was
good.
They were going back and forth because when Marc first passed him, I was like, and there it goes. And then Bezz passed him back. I was like, hold up. But then Marc passed him back. I was like,
Yeah, no, it was some good racing. All that and more is what we're going to get into today. We were in Hungary for MotoGP round number
14.
14.
Because I remember last week was 13.
Indeed. Also, the first time in Hungary since 1990, a long time ago, for all you old people out there that might still remember that. Let's see. When was MotoGP last at Hungary? Yeah, first time since 1992. Very long time ago. Very old people would remember that.
That's before us.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad it was also before you. I was afraid I was making fun of you for being old, too.
Oh, my goodness. I'm only a couple years older than you. Calm down.
Yeah, you're pretty old, though.
All right, calm down.
You're so slow.
Oh, that'll do it. Got me. I'll get fast one day, all right?
Anyway, we were in Hungary at Balaton Circuit. I know before this, World Superbike went back there this year also. And a couple weeks ago, Ducati took some V4Rs, took Marquez and Bagnaia out there, and Marquez and Bagnaia were both slower than World Superbike, the official lap time put out by no less than he himself, Top Rack Bezzecchi. Give the
Top Rack long name?
Yeah, Top Rack long name. So that was kind of like a point of contention. It was the summer break, nothing was going on, and everyone was just kind of like, yeah, hey, they can't even keep up. What are they going to do on MotoGP weekend? Are we even going to see anything that impressive? And then,
they put them on their machinery, which they're familiar with, and they drop heater after heater.
Yeah. All the times came back, and all the times got beat, which is what we all expected. But the internet loves to kind of make drama where there may or not be drama.
They love talking. They love talking.
Yeah. So anyway. But yeah, first time in Hungary since 1992. A lot of kind of surprises out there on the track to talk about this weekend. So we'll go ahead and roll an intro, and then we will get into it. My first track day, I got the pictures back, and I was like, I'm never doing that again. On the ground at 100 miles an hour.
Make it through F2, F3, and F2 to make it Grant. He didn't last long in F1. But it's like it was bad. The team did him dirty.
Yeah. $10 to anyone that can spot the fly during this podcast. I did also want to just let everyone know we're back, by the way. Thanks for watching the infomercial at the beginning. Thanks for watching the intro and sticking around.
Advertising milk.
Yeah. Been a while since I've said it, so I'll go ahead and say this podcast should be about an hour and a half long. We'll be sitting here just chatting MotoGP and maybe a couple other things throughout. So if you're watching on YouTube, by all means, feel free to go click the link down in the description to our RSS feed, which will take you to whatever platform you like listening to podcasts on, so you don't have to sit and watch the whole time. However, if you're listening, or you want to stick around and watch the whole time, that's fine too. But if you're listening, you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, go check it out, please. Once again, JKMoto Entertainment. Throw a subscribe button down on the bottom there while you're there. There's a lot of good content. If you are just happening upon this and you don't own a motorcycle, or you don't ride, or you do not ride at the track yet, that's what the channel is based around. We've got all the information you could ever want and need, with more coming on the weekly. I was about to say on the daily, and I was like, I don't post daily, so that'd be false infomercial.
Yeah, you could post, or you could just post daily to keep it true. So it's only a little bit more work. Just a little bit.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, if you don't look at it that way, it's just a little bit.
I would live out here. Speaking of out here, we are in Stable B, and we are here this Wednesday for you guys, Monday for us, to talk about MotoGP. You know, I'm just actually hoping the MotoGP commentators hear me one day, and they're like, we want that guy.
We'll fly you out.
Yeah, and I just get like
give you a pit pass and everything.
No, I want a random job offer. Like, you are now a commentator. Congratulations. Or if I could be like, let me go apprentice under Simon Crafar for a little while, and then just be the next Simon. And I just go walk around the pits like he used to. Like,
that's the move.
Very clearly the screw on their, I don't even know what came off, and that must have been what was causing a little bit of rattling, which caused the uneven air vibration over the front wing, which was giving them slightly more rear wheel chatter when applying the rear brake and the front brake simultaneously without engine braking on this turn specifically, which is why this rider's lap time went down by 0.003 seconds.
And then they do the post-race interview with the rider, and then he says, yeah, I noticed these, insert the exact quote here, and you're like, hey, this guy's good.
Yeah. Or they're like, yeah, I don't know. It was doing this, and I wanted it to do this. I don't know why. Anyway, Simon's great. So are all the other commentators. But before we really get into it, we do need to cover fantasy for the weekend. So if you're not following our fantasy league, you can find that at at JKMoto Entertainment. There's also a search number. It's really weird. You can search the number. That'll be down in the description, or you can just look up JKMoto Entertainment on the MotoGP fantasy website link. But we currently got 8 players. With myself sitting in 5th because a new player just came in and kicked me out of 4th, even though I got more points. I'm kind of mad about that.
I've seen it in a long belt. It's all you. You've got the results.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say I'm in 1st?
Nope.
2nd?
No.
3rd?
Nope.
Well, we try. Try again next week.
Okay. Yeah, you're not last.
Alex Marquez has not been helping me these last couple weeks.
Oh yeah, dude, I deleted him, bro.
He was my 1-2 was him and Mark.
Yeah.
And Mark's still doing Mark things, but Alex post summer break has not been doing.
I also had a 1-2 of him and Mark, and I got rid of him, Alex. I kept Mark around because it was the weekend he wrecked, and they weren't sure if he was going to be back the next weekend or not. I went ahead and dumped him.
You're like, I can't take any chances.
Yeah, so which was good. But anyway, we'll go ahead and announce the weekly winner. So if you are not familiar, we do have an winner every week. So the points leader every week has the opportunity to win a prize. And this week it is JKMoto with a whopping 152. Actually, it's not very whopping, but with 152 points.
Respectable.
Yeah, respectable. That's pretty good. Yeah, followed so closely by myself at 151, and then the next up after that would actually be Wolves, who's holding down 8th place right now, but he got 144, so that's what I'm saying. He's working on coming back, because our boy Kelly, for the week, came in dead freaking last at 108.5. So, anyway, JKMoto, please reach out to us on Facebook and or Instagram. Send me a DM, and we'll get you a weekly winning prize. Sent over your way. But, yeah, man, so I kicked Alex Marquez out. I put in DG.
Okay.
Which was pretty good. This weekend, not as good as I had hoped. Then I had Quartararo on the bottom, and I had...
Well, it started off really good. It was the race weekend that kind of, him not starting on the front row kind of like set him back.
Yeah.
Because the sprint, he was a podium. And he qualified really good, so if he just maintained that for the race, Sunday might have looked very different, or slightly different.
Yeah, something was going on with the factory, like the 2025 factory Ducatis this year, or this weekend. Besides Marc's, maybe. I don't know.
Marc could ride a tractor fast, as we learned.
They did. I've got some news on that too. Yeah, we'll get our Marc jokes out of the way. But so I traded Alex for DG. That was a good move, kind of. And then I had Quartararo and I had Vinales. And I traded Vinales for Zarco because we haven't seen Vinales for a while.
True. Unfortunately, Zarco crashed out this weekend as well.
Yeah, I was so mad, dude. In the sprint, he crashed. And the other Hondas were doing good. And I was like,
factory Honda was killing it.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be a great weekend for me. Zarco's probably going to do pretty well.
It was like the sprint, they had 4 and 6, and the race, Marini was still top 5. Mm-hmm. And Rin crashed out. Not Rin, Juan Mir crashed out.
Yeah. I wasn't going to get into it yet, but you said it.
No. He did the thing.
He did. It was great. But yeah, freaking Zarco crashed out both sprint and race, and it just really, really irked me. Had he not, maybe I would have gotten more than JKMoto down in 3rd place. But anyway, also welcome to our new member of the Fantasy League from Spain. I already closed out of it. I don't remember your name, but welcome. You took my spot. Thank you. I think we should probably just end the show.
Yeah, that's it. No race, no sprint topics, no nothing,
just
no predictions moving forward, just fantasy, that's it. In, out, 5 minute, quick adventure.
Yeah, we said this was going to be an hour and a half. We're done. You guys can go look up the race results by yourself. Check Facebook for any news stories.
Roll credits.
Yeah. So, interesting weekend. This whole Hungary track thing. No one on the grid has been there before. Which is really cool, because I love when that happens. We've got a couple tracks, or have had that opportunity a couple times in the last few years. I'm glad it's happening again this year. I like it because I think it really sets the bar for the riders.
I do think it also makes all the practice sessions even all that much more valuable, because everyone is starting from effectively zero.
Yeah.
So how fast can you adapt?
How fast can you adapt? How fast can you get the bike ready? Because that's half of what practice is you show up and you're at this time, your goal is to get here, the bike's not working. Like, we don't see that when we're watching practice. We just see them go and we're like, okay, yeah, they're just practicing. Most of that's them working with a team to make sure the bike is tuned perfectly for that track for them that weekend. And on the side of that is all the strategy of, what tires are we going to use for this practice? What tires are we going to use for the race? What tire pressures are we going to set for the race? What brake pressure sensor thing is going to go? I don't even know, man. The bikes are nuts. There was actually apparently a conversation between Casey Stoner, Pecco, and Marc Marquez this past weekend, or a couple weekends ago. I think it was right before the summer break, where Casey Stoner was talking with Marc about the electronics, and it was right after they had released a new rear stability / traction control thing that when you turn it on, Marc told Stoner, he's like, yeah, you could be in the middle of a corner and apply the rear brake and nothing happens because the electronics are that good. You won't lock up your tire and go out. The electronics know. And Casey Stoner was giving them a bunch of crap, saying that's stupid, like, riders aren't riders anymore. He said, you're old, you've been here for a while, so like you can still ride, but all this is doing is teaching people how not to ride bikes. So
it shows every time like Marc gets out there. He shows that he's a caliber above everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was interesting to me because I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, Marc started off right at the tail end of, like, I think when he started, Ducati had just started putting aero on their bikes. Like, just barely. They had one little tiny wing. And everyone else was looking at him like, you guys are freaking crazy.
Silly, yeah.
Why would you do that? And there was some electronics, but nothing too crazy. And so Marc's kind of seen all of this
like the
change.
Evolution and progression of MotoGP, for the past couple eras.
And so what's crazy about it is you take someone that comes in 2022 or 2023 or even this year, and they only know the bikes with what they currently have.
Yep.
Now, they've probably ridden, through Moto 2, maybe Moto 3, maybe through whatever local Moto 2 class thing that they have, through all those other things. So they have experience with that, but a MotoGP bike is a prototype MotoGP. Like, no one else has access to that stuff. And so they're learning how to ride on bikes equipped with
everything. Nowadays, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Big aero, big electronic aids, all the stuff.
Yeah, ride height devices, like, it's nuts, man. When you sit there and think about it, it's just insane. And you really do, I think, lose the ability to just ride a bike anymore. Now, clearly, they don't, because you go put them on
another bike, they'll still smoke.
Yeah, they still go do great. So there's that, but I think it is those little kind of extra things. I'm gonna tie this all back together. It was either Luca Marini or Pol Espargaro was giving Marc tons of credit because Marc was riding on a medium during the race. And apparently no other rider that weekend could figure out a medium tire for whatever reason at that track. The tires that weekend, the compound, whatever. He said they all agreed the tire felt like stone. Like it felt like you were sliding around on a brick. Yeah. And so here's Marc Marquez, the only rider out there on a medium, able to get his pass, pull a gap. And this is during the race. But pull a gap and then still set
heater after heater.
Yeah, heater after heater, lap records.
It's always wild because like you'll watch a little ticker symbol, you get that little fastest lap of the circuit there, and then he'll start beating his own fastest lap after a couple rounds.
Yeah, it's good. And then I think he set like a wickedly fast lap on the last lap of the race because he had tire left and said, "Why not?" Yeah, so. Anyway, then the next big talk is, how soon before Marc does actually take the World Championship. He could very soon.
I mean, at the rate he's going, the gap's so large, he could probably take, what are we around, 14? There's 24?
22, I think.
22. I feel like if he continues his performance within the next couple GPs, it'll become increasingly more difficult mathematically for him not to maintain the lead if he just got bottom last. If he took the rest of the season off.
So
because the people who are behind him would also have to even where we are now, they would have to get P1 after P1 after P1 and start eating into that gap. And the way the performances have been, Alex Marquez is his closest number 2, and you've seen how he's been doing. So realistically, Alex is fighting Pecco and Bezzecchi for 2, 3, 4 to figure out who's going to get next. I think Marc's gap is safe, especially if he maintains his performance as he is right now.
It's not even a question. I don't think there's any doubt that he'll win the championship this year. It's a matter of when, right? Because they'll celebrate the championship.
At what point is at this point it's mathematically impossible for you to lose. We'll celebrate now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and because that's the big talk right now is how soon can he do it if he keeps up this record? He's also officially the first rider to ever win 7 back-to-back Grand Prix on 2 different manufacturers.
Because all he does is win, no matter what.
No matter what. At the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have told you it would be possible to do it as early as he was, or is now slated to. But whatever happened to Alex which really kind of has me bummed out. I was hoping there's going to be more of a fight there. But Alex
is all the way down, and did he even ride?
Yeah, he wrecked out, got back on.
P8 for the sprint, and then what did he get for the race?
Not good.
Yeah, 114. Let's see, suboptimal.
Yep, 2 points. 2 points for the race and 2 points for the sprint. So a whopping 4 points compared to Marc Marquez's 37.
Yeah, he's out here bringing the full haul.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of bummed me out. I was really hoping that they would continue to fight and put up some action. Luckily, we've got Bezzecchi up there.
Alligator, though, has been picking up these last few rounds. He's been doing pretty solid.
He's been doing that weird thing that sometimes rookies do,
where they show up for a few races, but then not at all for some of the other ones.
No, that too. But there are a lot of rookies that randomly have good pace at the end of the race, and not just good,
fantastic,
scary good. Yeah, ain't no one else doing this pace yet.
6 laps ago.
Yeah, and. It's the opposite of Pedro last year or 2 years ago.
He had good pace at the beginning, and then he'd fall off as his tires like evaporated.
Yeah, where he was doing like some rookie stuff. He was real aggressive. He was going nuts. And I say rookie stuff. I'm not trying to talk crap. That's what rookies do. And it's awesome. You get tons of good experience doing that. I'd say almost better. But yeah, we're getting like the opposite from Aldeguer, where
he's like more slow rolling his approach.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wrote him off for the season, and now it's like, whoa, hang on, he's worth more than quite a few other people that I would say are better. So
more experienced.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, he's not going to come in and contend for anything, and no one's going to.
Because he's the one who's been bringing the points home for these last couple of GPs for Gresini Ducati.
Oh yeah, yeah. Alex is just not doing it right now.
Yeah. But I'm confident Alex will get back into the groove of things. That first half performance was phenomenal. If he takes a couple races where he's still in the points barely and then gets back in his groove, he'll still have what you will consider a fantastic season. We can't all get P1 every single race, you know what I'm saying?
No. The hard part there is, I mean, this is Alex Marquez's first good year in MotoGP, in my opinion. He's had several years in MotoGP. He was on a Honda for a little bit. That was terrible for him. Then he was on the Ducati, and he was like, okay. And last year, he did okay from time to time. But this year, he did amazing at the beginning of the season. You know, he was up there killing it. Second place to be called Mr. P2.
First world problems.
But yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're not P1. Second place is first place loser, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but like
not winning, you're
losing. You got people like Bagnaia who would kill to be P2 at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or at any point for this entire season.
Yeah, and then look at the guy in front and realize that he's always P1. So being always P2 doesn't. It's only one person ahead of you. It's not like you just can't beat anyone.
It's literally big bro.
Yeah, but that's the hard part for me is like, can you imagine going home to your trophy room that's right next to Big Bro's, and it's just like your ceiling's a foot shorter, the doorway's 6 inches shorter, the shelves aren't as big.
I think it's entirely a function of like what their relationship is at home. Because like depending on that, it could be like, you could like have the spectrum from like inferiority complex for like years and years and years to like, nah man, that's my dog. Imagine us together getting the 1-2 everything we do. And then sometimes I get a P1 every now and again. Yeah. It's like watching Talladega Nights. There's shit at the beginning of the movie, and at the end of the movie is like, that's my dog.
I'll give you that. I kind of wonder, like, is Mark going to stick around too long to where Alex won't have an opportunity to just be Alex?
Without living in the shadow of Mark?
Yeah.
Even if Mark retired right now and Alex got P1, he would still always live in the shadow of Mark in so much that, like, even if he got it, like, let's say he got 5 back-to-back MotoGP championships, it'd always be like, well, Mark did more. You know?
Gotta be 10. Yeah.
So like, it depends on what the relationship is and how confident they are in like their self. And at that point, they're both like multimillionaires. Like they're both big chillin'. Like they could both be like big chillin' if they wanted to be.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Didn't think about the fact that even if Mark left, he'd still be a 8-time world champion, and Alex is not.
Alex would have to have that phenomenal run for the next several years, starting now.
Yeah, which you can't do. We'll never beat it. I don't know if anyone's ever going to beat the youngest rider to win a MotoGP race. Even Mark can't beat that one. Because he's
old now.
And he's old, yeah.
Goes back in time, genetically clones himself. Gives him all of his years of riding on a younger body.
Yeah, well now it's hard because they have more restrictions on it. Like, there's so many safety restrictions on what age you have to be different stuff. It's a lot harder.
There's been unfortunate few accidents with young people.
Pedro had, I think, 6 races last year, 6 or 7, that he had the opportunity to take it if he'd won.
Yeah, but he did.
He did not win. So, all right, moving on. That's kind of Alex and Mark. We got the boys in yellow. Kind of talked about them a little bit. The Hondas. We got to talk about this whole Marini and Mir thing. I know we already kind of did, but the Mir.
P4 and P6 is normally what I expect to see, like the floor yellow logos, the VR46 at, or like maybe KTM on a good day.
So what was crazy?
Because I expect Mark and Bezzecchi. Now I'm expecting Mark and Bezzecchi and Alex up in the 1, 2, 3, and then like Pecco can figure out where he wants to be on a good day somewhere in that. But the fact that it was Honda with the 4 and the 6, and then Aldeguer with the P5, like just up in the cut,
eating.
Yeah,
dude was eating.
He had a good weekend.
He did.
He's a really nice point scorer for the last couple weekends.
The wild part, man, so I was watching, I think I woke up Friday, watched the last 20 minutes of practice, and I saw the Hondas and they were in Q2, and I was like, what?
That's the wrong red.
Yeah.
That's the wrong red.
What happened? Did they put a freaking turbo on the bike or something? Like what happened?
Yeah, that's why you can't look at the bikes with the fairings off.
Yeah, I don't know. And they said that the commentators were talking about they got a new chassis, like a whole new bike essentially over the summer break.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're riding a rocket ship now.
Yeah. So that was awesome, right? To see them straight into Q2, that like that's half the battle out there is qualifying. Because if you're not in the first 2 rows in qualifying and you're not, you don't get the whole shot, you're not a freaking crazy man, then you get swallowed. And it's very hard to work your way out of that.
I think it goes both ways, though. Like, you also still have to then be able to be like a really good racer, still have some kind of machine under you to maintain your good qualifying pace.
Oh, yeah.
Like, before the summer break, man, I got tired of watching Quartararo get eaten alive by those Ducatis, man. I've said before, I'll say it again. Like, he'll qualify good, and then the race will start, and you're like, all right, objective, survive.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the Hondas for the last 3 years, every time I see them, they can't even qualify.
Yeah.
And so I know it's not going to go well. They're going to be back 15 or worse.
I'm pumped to see the next GP, though, just to see, like, is it a track thing? Was it the settings for that track specifically?
Yeah.
Like, are they actually riding a rocket ship now? Like, what happened? Is this trend sustainable? Because, like, that would shake some things up. Because, like, KTM would have some real midfield competition now.
Yeah.
VR46 will have to, like, keep an eye on them. Because when you VR46 isn't on podium, that is the spots they would normally have to be fighting for. So I'm curious to see what will happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're like too late in the season with no good.
I think points-wise it doesn't really matter because we're so late in the season, but I still think racing-wise you can still see something.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the credit there to see it for the fans, for all of that, absolutely. I don't think they have a chance at constructor or team or anything, which no one really does. Well, actually, I don't know. Because you arguably have Gresini and VR46, if they take home more, if they won't. Like, Lenovo has it, right?
Yeah.
Purely because of...
Bikes on the grid.
Well, Lenovo would be the team. Constructor Ducati,
yeah.
Absolutely. But the team championship, Lenovo purely because of how many points Marc alone has. Yeah. Which is rough because when you look at it, I would argue that the VR46 boys and or Gresini boys have almost done better than...
As a team, yes.
Yeah.
Because Pecco has not really been contributing to Marc's point haul, but Marc is pulling in a fat point haul.
So they'll probably still take that.
37 week after week.
It's been 7 freaking weeks in a row now. That's nuts. It's so nuts, man.
Just Marc doing Marc things.
It is insane. But yeah, the Hondas, I'm right there with you. I'm hoping. I saw that this weekend. Saw Luca Marini out there able to, like, that was the other thing is that Luca Marini seemed to actually be able to keep his feet under him and keep his head on top, feet underneath, which I don't want to say it surprised me, but low-key almost surprised me.
Well, it's just because you don't see that from them and Honda. And then,
well,
like, for them getting top 10 is, like, a big thing.
Yeah.
So let alone, like, getting, like, effectively top 5, it's like, huh.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen Luca ride well ever.
I don't know about all that, but, like, that good, absolutely. At least as long as I've been watching.
When he was on a Ducati, he was okay.
That's before my time.
The Honda sucked. And there was definitely, in my opinion, there's definitely some Ducati inflation with Luca Marini. Or there was.
Not anymore, he's on Honda.
Yeah, and that inflation got, like, super deflated when he went to a Honda because Honda was like, there's Honda deflation.
Yeah, it's like a straight up debuff. It's
Yeah.
like -2 rider skill you putting on a Honda.
So that's been rough to see with Luca, but this weekend was great. I'm right there with you. I'm hoping it wasn't just a random bluff.
Yeah, I'm curious for round 15. See what they do.
Yeah, we'll see. And they're going to Catalonia.
That's Spain, right?
I don't know. Where is Catalonia? Probably. Yeah, I think it's a Spanish flag. Let's see. We'll look it up. Where is...
You're better than me. I'd start typing that in. I definitely would spell it. I'd spell it so wrong that Google couldn't fix it for me.
Where is Catalonia, Spain? It's probably in Spain.
Okay, there we go.
It is, in fact, in Spain.
Your local geography podcast.
Yeah. San Marino. Yeah, so we've got Catalonia, and then right after that is San Marino, which is Misano, which is when they are saying Marc could win the championship by, depending on what Alex and Pecco do. So,
Fair enough.
Anyway, we're going to take a break right here, technical break, to go put a camera in the fridge.
All right.
All right, let's see. We were talking about Hondas. Luca Marini, Joan Mir were in Q2. Didn't qualify amazing in Q2, but they were in Q2. And then during the race, or during the sprint, I was actually very impressed. Because I'm going to go ahead and put the sprint out there. We had Marc Marquez 1, DG and then Morbidelli 2, 3, Marini in 4th, Aldeguer in 5th, Mir in 6th, and Bezzecchi in 7th, and then Martin, Marquez, and all of that.
All I'm going to say is he finished in the points. All right, he finished in the points of the sprint. Let that be shown.
Who, Martin? In the points?
Yep.
He finished in the point.
Yeah.
You don't get to say the points because there's only one. Ready? Oh, that was so close. Almost had him.
He finished in the point. Singular.
Point. Match point.
He got the rest in the race, though.
He did. I'll give you the points during the race. Yeah, I'll give you that. I guess that's a good transition. But before we get there, I have to cover the very, very sad fact. So we agree Honda had a great weekend.
We do agree Honda had a great weekend.
We agree
that factory Honda had a great weekend.
Yes. Okay. Yes. We agree that both Mir and Marini performed pretty well during qualifying, sprint, practice, all of that. We agree that the Honda clearly was also, the factory Honda bike was also clearly great in the race.
Okay, where's this going? Is this more Rins? Not Rins. Is this more Juan Mir slander?
Yeah, 100%. How come on this weekend that I'm finally starting to be like, oh my goodness, Honda has it put together. This is going to be the weekend. Mir didn't even crash out of the sprint. This is going to be awesome. We get like a few laps into the race and he's out.
Old habits die hard.
By himself. No one crashed into him. This one was actually his.
Old habits die hard.
The one weekend where I would have been like, dang, man, if anyone else had crashed into him, but instead I was just like, wow.
Checks with chart.
Yeah. Once again, Joan Mir did not let anyone down besides himself because he did what he does best.
He did the thing.
Which is wreck out. Anyway, give us your thoughts and opinions on Joan Mir. Does he belong in MotoGP? Does he deserve the championship that he got? I'm just kidding. I think he does. He obviously won it that year, but it's questionable, right? Never.
Well, he deserved it because he got it. If he didn't deserve it, he wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, but some would argue that he only got it because he was like this consistent dude. He didn't really win anything.
Consistency wins championships.
Yeah, but no one likes that.
It's not what they like.
What people want is a dude that just takes first place forever.
Like a Marc Marquez right now? Yeah, but like, he got it. Like, I will not slander someone who got the championship like, he got it. He raced, he showed up, he was consistent, he got the championship at the end. Like, his point number was bigger than somebody else's, they gave him a trophy. Now, not the same, obviously, so now he doesn't deserve it now. But
so he deserved his championship.
Yeah.
Cool. Is he a championship rider?
Well, in so much that he literally has won a championship, yes. In so much that his performance currently, no. Not at all.
No, absolutely not. He's not a championship level rider. The dude just cannot do it. And what's sad is that most of the time...
The thing that hurts me is if I start talking like that, after I start thinking about like Quartararo and Martin, I get really sad.
It is something I brought up because I've been in this argument with someone else before, and they said Mir is terrible. He has a championship, but he's not a championship rider material. I said, what about Quartararo? They're like, what do you mean? Same story. Won one championship, hasn't been able to do it since. Like, well, it's different, and it kind of is, but...
At least he's not crashing in 5 minutes.
Think about it.
Not as much as Mir. Right?
No, not as much. Absolutely not. But you're a Quartararo fan, so you've got these like blind beer goggles on. Oh my goodness, he's so great.
I have been seeing him crash out, and it breaks my heart. But he's not crashing as much as Mir.
Is he championship material?
Honestly, yeah, I'd like to see him on a different bike, but right now his performance hasn't been that good. He's had really good hot laps for qualifying, like I've been saying, but like when it comes to like the actual race, he just falls behind. But I think that's more of a factor of like the bike that he's riding as opposed to his skill. I'd like to see him with a little Ducati inflation is all I'm saying.
There you go. Okay. I do think that Quartararo still is championship rider material. I agree with you. Put him on the right bike. I think he might be able to do it. In fact, I even think that put him on a KTM or an Aprilia, he'd be up there with Bezzecchi having some fun. So
I'd love to see that. A little Bezz Quartararo action.
It'd be great.
They kick off Pecco Bagnaia slide Martin in the way it should have been. You get a little Marquez Martin action.
Now that would be interesting. That would have been interesting this year because no one is going to slander Pecco and his talent. No one is going to talk crap on Pecco and say that he doesn't have the talent and that he can't ride. And I can't even do it yet because I think it's something else that is bothering him. But man, there's been a whole lot of complaining from a dude about a bike when someone else in the paddock, right next to him,
is
on the same bike,
smoking the grid.
Yeah, doing amazing. Which brings in like a couple different things. So one, there is a statistic.
That he has to like the fact that when he wants to get past, he got to roll off, get off line, look back, do a double take, and like, please come past me.
That's your favorite.
I
you bring
that
it up every week. That's your
that.
favorite. But so there was a statistic that actually the Marc Marquez hasn't been consistently putting down faster lap times than Pecco put down last year on the GP24. And like race times, total race distance times are longer than they were last year and things like that. And so Pecco has basically come out and said like there is a problem with the bike. No doubt about the fact that Marquez is talented. That's why he's hiding it so well. But no one is keeping up with the lap times that we set last year. And he's not taking all the credit. He's saying between him and Jorge Martin. But no one's keeping up with that. And, that's where we're at this year.
From lowly down here as a viewer, it just seems like an excuse.
That's what...
Because it's like...
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about it? You're going to sit and complain? Or you're going to try and figure it out?
Yeah.
So if they're paying you millions of dollars to figure it out,
mm-hmm.
like Bezzecchi is figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. And Marquez.
Well, he figured it out. He's not figuring. He figured it out. They're figuring it out. But
I'd argue that DG's doing better than Pecco at figuring out this GP25.
No, DG is doing better than Pecco. Not argue, he is.
And he's on the same bike.
Like, overall performance, I feel like, this is an opinion, I gotta look at the results, but I feel like DG overall has been doing better than Pecco after the first, handful of races for the year.
It took a second. I think that's
he didn't start off doing better than Pecco, but Pecco has been on a downward trend, and DG has been consistently midfield to podium pace.
Yeah.
Whereas Pecco is not that, and then occasionally midfield, and he hasn't had a podium in a while.
Very true. Let's see. In Austria, DG wrecked out. Germany.
I also love watching DG wreck out because he'll just get
wrecked out.
He'll be like ah.
Yeah, he does not care. I'm only looking at these statistics because I'm actually very curious because DG's good, I would say. He actually has never finished. There you go. In Italy, he was one place ahead of Pecco. That's the first time. I don't care about the test. Let's go to Aragon. He was in 9th. Pecco was in 3rd. Go to the UK. DG was in 9th. Pecco didn't finish. Okay. So there you go. But unfortunately, Pecco's actually way better than DG this year.
For now.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, for now, but not recently.
No, recently DG's been stepping up a little bit.
No, I don't count the race. I don't have on the race, like the whole mechanical problem starting in the back of the grid, but that we'll see.
Yeah, I mean he's actually behind Morbidelli in points, which is kind of surprising.
Probably because old wrecking out he did.
Probably, yeah, he did wreck out quite a bit.
I need him back on the podium for one of those other podium interviews. You know what I'm saying? I just love hearing those.
Yeah, man, it's just fuck, man. Oh, yeah. It was good. And then I guess finally the Aprilia boys. Well, we haven't talked about KTM yet. We got to talk about KTM.
They were not there. Pecco was there. The rest of them were not.
Pedro. But yeah.
Pedro, yeah. I keep mixing them up.
Yeah, I mean, Bastianini was there for a couple minutes.
So he wasn't.
He gave his best shot. I'll go back to qualifying. That was what was crazy, is that Bastianini qualified really well. So he qualified up in 4th. When Pedro qualified in 7th. Because did you watch qualifying this weekend? So qualifying was kind of nuts because Pedro actually he held the fastest lap time for a while in practice and in qualifying. And then he wrecked out of practice, and I believe he wrecked out of qualifying too, right at the end. So he didn't have a chance to go back and reset it. But it was like he was holding that top spot, and he had the pace when he wrecked out. He was up by 2 or 3 tenths. And so that's why during the race, the commentators kept saying, like, Mark knows that when he sees Pedro on his board, like plus whatever Pedro Acosta, it's going to be, because he knows that, he knows that Pedro's got that pace. So it was a little rough to see Pedro wreck out. I kept just thinking about the fact that, like, as you would see the KTM guys are just like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, he's still a rookie. Rookies are allowed to crash that much, especially if they're good. And I think Pedro is good. I think. He's got the drive. He's got the want, which is good. I think he's got the skill.
I think this is just the start of his long career in MotoGP.
Yeah.
This is only his 2nd year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's already getting podiums.
I'm very, turned because there was all this talk about him being the next Marc Marquez.
Yeah, that's because you've got Marc Marquez goggles.
I do.
You don't like
absolutely.
You don't like hearing that.
Absolutely. Well, I want to hear it because I'm waiting. There's got to be another one. There's got to be some rookie that comes in and goes absolutely nuts.
To hand off the torch?
Yeah. Because, there's always been the greats. And Mark is on his way out the door, and I recognize that. And I'm not going to say that I'm just going to be a fan of the next great, but there's got to be someone that's going to come in and shake the world and go do amazing things. And are they going to take the place of Mark and beat his records?
Probably not.
No.
But they could be the new face of MotoGP for a while.
Yeah, they could be that guy that 8 years down the road we're talking. Oh my goodness, is he gonna pass Rossi? Next up, is he gonna pass Marc Marquez? Is he gonna be able to do it? Is he gonna do it on? And that guy's setting all those new records right now. With where we're at, have you looked at a list of the records that Mark holds, the things that have his name attached to them in MotoGP?
No.
It is nuts. And this season, he has only been adding more to the list. He's taken a couple back, and he's added more to the list. And he's starting to take ones that we didn't really, when he had his injury, no one thought he was going to be able to take.
And now he's back.
Stuff that he's kind of taken from Rossi a little bit. So, but yeah, then the other thing too with the KTMs, sorry, I got off on a side note there, was that Paul Espargaro also was in Q2. Qualified in 12th, but was in Q2. So, now we hit the sprint. Bastianini wrecked out, which was less than ideal. His wreck took out Quartararo, if I remember right, because they gave him a double long lap penalty. Yeah, so...
For the sprint or for the race for qualifying?
During the sprint. Bastianini wrecked into someone after being wrecked into, I believe, by DG. So, dude wrecked...
Because I know in the sprint, I know Quartararo was coming in it looked like he didn't have a really good line, got caught up in a pack, but couldn't slow the bike down, and then kind of went off.
That's what it was. Quartararo got a long lap penalty for running into Bastianini during that.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then 2 laps later,
out of that,
Bastianini went
Quartararo was the only one that went out in that little kerfuffle, but he did affect other people. But he's the one who went down in the kerfuffle.
Yeah, which really sucks. Hey, you crashed.
Long lap.
Long lap penalty, sorry.
So they're you crashed, but it's your fault. That to me, that's what it seemed like the decision was. You crashed, it was your fault, and you affect the races of others. Punishment.
Yeah, man, this is the...
that kind of sucks. Is dude, I crashed.
There's a road in Washington State up to a ski resort. And when it snows up there, there's a sign at the bottom that says chains or snow tires required. By law. And then you get to the top, and there's all these people that don't have chains, don't have snow tires, because they thought they were good. Also, it wasn't snowing at the bottom, so they weren't going to put their chains on. Get up to the top, it's snowing, there's 6 inches of snow, and they're off the side of the road. Not in any danger, really, but, they can't get out. And so the state trooper will come by, and he'll be like, hey, how's it going? I just got stuck. He's like, okay, you guys got snow tires, chains? No, we should have put the chains on, but we just didn't think we needed it. He's like, all right, anyone injured in here? Nope. Okay, cool. Yep. Let me go head to my car real quick, get your license registration, I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. Thinking he's calling him a tow truck or something. And he comes back, he's like, here's your license, here's your registration. There's your ticket for not having snow chains or snow tires. Good luck with your haul out. And they're like, wait, whoa. Are you going to, tow the car out for us? No, you can call a record. See ya. Goes to the next car.
Rinse
So this dude's just going up there and making all this money. That's how I feel like. That's what I feel like it's like when like, Quartararo gets back to the pits. I can only imagine they're like, oh hey, here's your long lap penalty on paper, and he's like,
oh,
well, where's my bike? They're like, oh yeah, you can go get it. See you.
Sad Quartararo noises.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, Pedro Acosta did very well though. Bastianini, unfortunately, during the race, he actually wasn't even able to serve his long lap penalty yet, so he'll have to serve it in the next GP, which is rough.
And then Binder was there, I guess, again.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know, but
I feel like whenever Vinales gets back, it's gonna go back to being the Pedro Vinales show.
Maybe it definitely could be. It could be. But yeah, so next week we'll be in Spain, Catalonia.
Rider of the week.
Yeah, we'll cover Rider of the Week real quick, and then I think we'll wrap it up and await patiently for. Sorry, I said next week we'll be in Spain. It's the week after. We got a 2-week break here. Not a 2-week break, but back to kind of every other week.
Next GP will be in Spain.
Yeah, thank you. Rider of the weekend. What do you got?
Well, I had 2 strong choices. I think my number 1 choice obviously gonna be Jorge Martin, finishing the points. Finished the weekend. Finishing the points. Finishing the point to singular on Saturday.
On the sprint?
Finishing the
Okay.
points actual, and they said 16th to 4th place on Sunday, which is rather impressive. It seems like he's finally I guess figuring out. We use that term loosely here, but like he did pretty good. I like to see this trajectory continue, but other than that, Luca Marini, the fact that Factory Honda Boys got top 5. He had P4 then P5 for the sprint and the race.
Mm-hmm.
On a Honda?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No weather shenanigans, no like big brow thing. They're just pure going out there, winning consistent laps and racing.
So I'll argue with you on Jorge, because welcome back, Jorge. Great, cool. Hey, you did okay. Welcome back. He can do better.
Yeah, he can, but I'm just
he
happy
ain't
to
no
see.
rider of the weekend.
Yeah, but
you're happy for him. That doesn't make him a rider of the weekend. Luca Marini, I'm going to have a hard time arguing with. The man that I'm putting up, however, is going to be Mr. Pedro Acosta, who in the sprint did not do that great.
Did not. Was it almost dead last in the sprint? People who finished.
Because he wrecked out.
That's true.
And then he got back on the bike.
He did get back on the bike.
And he left. And so I will give some respect there for that. And while he was in it, he was in it.
I do love seeing them get back on the bike and finish the race. I do love seeing that.
Yeah, and then also like outside of that, you look at the rest of the weekend, that man was putting down some freaking heaters. Yeah, he had some stuff out there that
he got podium in the race. Yeah. P2.
Right, and so that's the other thing too, is they were able to follow up, come back to the race, get a P2.
Because he came back and passed Bezz, because it was the Bezz Mark show, and then Pedro Acosta was like, what if I got the silver medal instead?
Why not?
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Pedro was pretty good. I might have been blinded through my eyes as a Jorge Martin fan, but I will stand on
Jorge Martin beer goggles. Gotcha.
I will stand on that Luca Marini biz. I was happy to see Honda up there, top 5.
All right. Well, there you have it. Luca Marini versus Pedro Acosta. Let us know down in the comments who you think won, or if you have a different idea who might be the better rider. We're going to go ahead and cut this a little bit short because we've got a hot temperature down here in the southeast, and our camera is showing us that right now. So before that takes over and cuts out, thank you guys for listening and or watching. Once again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go follow us on your favorite podcast platform, wherever that might be. And we will see you for Spain, Catalonia, in 2 weeks' time.
Drug your knee on the ground at 100 miles an hour.